First and foremost, let me apologize for not releasing any content on this channel for almost like 15 weeks. I mean, that's a very long time, and I've got no excuses. All I can reassure you now is that we are going to be back. It's literally been more than 10 years, over a decade, since I've been looking into the dark rabbit holes, these disturbing, creepy, mysterious, conspiratorial, strange, weird, ghostly, scary, whatever we call it, the paranormal, all of that type of content I've been interested in. And that's the reason why we built this channel, to bring that type of content to the screens. So we're back again, and we are going to be diving down all of the mysterious things that we can find on the internet. So make sure you don't go anywhere, hit your like button, subscribe to the channel if we are newly watching, and let's get weird.
Una esfera.
¿La acercaste? Pero de aquí no.
Aquí la estoy viendo.
Wow, ahorita no la enseño.
¿Qué onda?
Looks like some type of planet.
Una esfera, mira.
Ya viste. Ay,
Ya
la
se
tapó
escondió.
la nube. No, fue la nube. Síguele viendo, Leti.
That seems to have disappeared and blended in with the clouds.
Brazil just made an absolute boss move in UFO transparency and dropped the receipts on nearly 900 UFO cases. This is huge. So on May 31st, Brazil's National Archives released 893 UFO cases, to be exact, to the public. And we're talking about sightings from 1952 all the way up to 2023, complete with photos, audio recordings, witness drawings, detailed official reports. The files were originally set to drop on June 13th, but they went live early with no warning. And there's some seriously amazing stuff inside. So I've only cracked into it just a touch, and already it's mind-blowing. It talks about cases like the 1977 Colares incident, where locals were reportedly injured by beams of light coming from low-flying UFOs it was so intense that the Brazilian military launched Operação Prato, Operation Saucer, to investigate. There's also the 1986 Night of the UFOs, where 21 objects were spotted across southern Brazil, tracked on radar and chased by Air Force jets. So if you want to check it out yourself, there's a website you can go to. I'll list it right here. You'll need to register, but the docs are public. A lot of it's in Portuguese, but you can get it translated. Brazil just raised the bar.
And it's not only Brazil. Almost every single country in South America experienced heavy UFO activity.
There is a statue in Peru that shouldn't exist. If the reptilians was never here, then there would not be any statues of their existence. Many are not ready for this conversation. This image shows a statue of the Iguana Man located in Chiclayo, Peru. The statue is part of the Paseo Yortuk, an outdoor walkway featuring over 60 statues depicting pre-Columbian mythology and history.
It's so weird how nearly every single country has statues of reptilians.
Thing is just floating, bro. At the beach. What is that?
Like some weird spacecraft. It's like 2026, boy. We have seen nothing but spacecrafts everywhere.
Somebody tell me what in the living bejesus my daughter's boyfriend recorded tonight on his way to his lifeguard training. It's a dead bird and it's floating in the sky.
Oops.
That's freaking weird, man.
Isn't it?
Yeah, like there's someone else taking a picture.
Right?
A dead bird just floating in the sky. What are we talking about?
It's just so weird because it should be moving.
Yeah, I don't see any, like... I don't see anything, like...
Right? Alright, well, I'm ready to drive.
Yeah. What if it just dropped all of a sudden? Wouldn't that be freaky?
Okay, well, let's go before it just drops on us.
God, man.
So weird.
So these drawings were found in caves across the world. Peru, Nepal, Australia, Japan. But they all depict the same thing, which is extremely interesting. You have to ask this question: how does nations who wouldn't have had contact with each other back in those days depict the same thing? They're drawing the same thing, they're seeing the same thing, and they point to this thing coming from what we're talking about. And all the drawings have got this ship above them, which is extremely interesting. As this video said, today we would call these ships UFOs. Now recently NASA went back to the moon. Or did they?
Artemis 2 blasted off, headed to the moon, right? So it took off from right about here. And it blasted off, son. And then it went up and it circled the Earth a couple of 3 or 4 times. And then it just took off out into outer space, baby. They out there floating around in outer space right now. They fixing to hook around the moon. Watch this right here, man. They fixing to hook around the moon, right? And they gonna lasso the moon, baby. And they gonna be hauling the mail. They probably gonna be in there going, ah! Ah! If it was me, I'd be kicking and screaming, son. Kicking and screaming. But they up there and they gonna do all these circles and then they gonna blast off back home and land somewhere in the ocean out here. But you want to know what's crazy? A little while ago, before they even started doing this, the moon was over here, and then it was over here. Right? So they had to make the trajectory meet up with the moon. How in the world do you even do this kind of math right here? What is that like? 2 plus 3 minus 6 plus 8 plus 12 minus 3 divided by 4 plus 9, A, B, C, D. I mean, this is some complicated stuff, son. But they gonna shoot around this sucker, head back to the house, baby, splash down in the ocean, and tell us all about them alien bases on the backside of the moon. That's what they're gonna tell us about. Don't you know that's where they're at? All these UFOs, the only place in the universe we can't see is the backside of the moon. It must be covered with alien UFO bases. I hope they don't go to firing on them. They're like, what is that up there flying around? That ain't one of ours. That's a goofy looking spaceship, son, with flaps on it.
Our beautiful, beautiful planet.
The line travels fast.
By the Artemis astronauts. Isn't that amazing? It is amazing, right? The great big globe. And maybe you remember an old-timey quote. They say Mark Twain said it. It's about the truth and lies. And I think it's very appropriate right now. A lie can travel halfway around the world while the truth is putting on its shoes.
Yeah. Surprise, surprise. I mean, it's everywhere. Why would Donald Trump post that on his Truth Social? He tells the truth on his Truth Social, right? And he posted a video where they're talking about a lie. Somebody make it make sense to me.
Is from Liam in Elsipogtog, New Brunswick.
I wonder, do you still see stars in outer space?
Yeah, I was actually just talking to my crewmates about that today. I've definitely seen stars in outer space, and
Watch the reaction.
I've definitely seen stars in outer space, and I was saying I haven't seen as many as I thought I would, so read.
Did you catch it? Watch again.
Many as I thought I would, so read. Many as I thought I would, so read.
Reed Weissman tells Jeremy Hansen to close his mouth when asked about stars in space.
We have so much illumination from the sun on the moon and the earth right now. It is hard at times to see stars.
Whoever looked away from Earth into the black void.
Because you can see, because you can see the stars.
Oh yeah.
Because you can see the stars.
Oh yeah.
You know, and pretty much all the time you can see the stars.
There's more than stars. You can see planets. You can see moon.
Never able to see stars from the lunar surface. I don't recall during the period of time that we were photographing the solar corona what stars we could see. I don't remember seeing any.
So we've got conflicting statements from previous astronauts that have gone to the moon. None of them can determine whether they actually saw stars or not.
So Elon Musk says that he went to the moon and he even played golf on the moon. You can't make this up, y'all. Take a listen.
I went to the moon a few times, actually, and played golf on the moon. We didn't just go to the moon.
What?
We actually got a little bored and started playing golf on the moon.
But why didn't the flag move? There's like that
That was
conspiracy
the shock moment.
about the flag.
Golf on the moon.
Okay.
You know, they literally did.
No, I understand.
Yeah. We have to golf ball on the moon.
There's no gravity though, right? So like,
Just gravity 1/6. If it wasn't gravity, you would just float away. There's no atmosphere.
okay, fair.
There is 1/6 gravity.
I mean, is he talking facts or is he being delusional?
And mission specialist Christina Cook and Jeremy Hansen taking their first steps outside for their historic test flight.
I'm going to pause this right here because everyone has been asking me to do videos on this Artemis 2 hoax. So let's start right at the beginning of the launch crew walkout.
To a wonderful applause from the crowd. They're looking really excited.
Now, what I want you to pay attention to are the cell phones that the people in the crowd are holding and recording and taking pictures with. Pay attention to these phones. I'm going to freeze frame the shots where they're holding them up, aiming them at the astronauts, and you will see that there are no astronauts whatsoever in the cell phone footage view.
Some
big
really
smiles.
Yeah.
I love that.
Out here. It's a great day for us. It's a great day for this team.
A few words from Reed. Great day for us, the team, he said.
Hold on. I saw that. Did you see that? 2 people stood there to take pictures of these 4 dons and no one was in the frame.
Thumbs up, more thumbs up. Of course, a lot of pictures. We hear some camera shutter clicks back there. I love
Bob Lazar says UFOs may not be using anti-gravity at all.
I don't even think it's gravity.
What do you
I think
think?
this is another completely unique force. It doesn't behave enough like gravity.
And explain why it's so different.
Like, I mean, because at least my thoughts at this point are, I think gravity is just a property of matter and it's only an attractive force. I'm not sure you can have anti-gravity. Like if it was gravity, you know, at one point Barry showed me he had one of the emitters working. He put a lit little kitchen candle right at the focal point and he powered up the reactor and the flame stopped flickering. It stood there frozen in space and time, but I could see the light from the candle. The flame was still visible. Also, he removed the candle and then rotated the emitter. I don't know if it was another direction or more the same way, but it made a little black ball in the air where no light was escaping, looking like a little black hole. But no, you could just tell there was no light at the focal point right in the air. It was just a dark area. So there it's affecting light, but it wasn't in the candle test before that. So it's a really unusual thing.
Oh, you know, I heard some where jesters back then were the only ones that can tell the truth. What? Back when there was a big hierarchy and stuff like that, jesters would make jokes about like political stances. And this is when it gets crazy because what do comedians do at the Grammys? They make fun of the things that are going on.
Kidnapping is not what great nations do. Almost half of America at this moment believes there is a sinister deep state diabolically plotting to what? Give them health care? What is the sinister plan here? Sure, I can afford the miracle drug for restless leg syndrome.
So jesters could get away with that before by comedy. And that's the same that people do in the real world.
Let's say the jester, and then the king said, no, this is what happened.
Yes, but you can make fun and warn the people.
Because if you go against the king's word, you just get slain, fam. The jester, because it's comedy and it's a show, you can say whatever you want, and the king has to allow it because, it's a joke, especially if it's just funny.
A lot of comedians right now are getting like canceled for saying that is true too.
But it's all the same has been happening forever. They haven't been helping anybody forever. They're letting politicians slurp on all of our money goes to it.
Many of us know the term Freemasons, but how many know the origins behind it? Well, the truth is actually hidden in plain sight in a movie called National Treasure. Have a listen.
What was the secret?
a treasure. A treasure beyond all imagining. A treasure that had been fought over for centuries by tyrants, pharaohs, emperors, warlords. And every time it changed hands, it grew larger. And then suddenly, it vanished. It didn't reappear for more than 1,000 years, when knights from the First Crusade discovered secret vaults beneath the Temple of Solomon. You see, the knights who found the vaults believed that the treasure was too great for any one man, not even a king. They brought the treasure back to Europe and took the name, the Knights Templar. Over the next century, they smuggled it out of Europe, and they formed a new brotherhood called the Freemasons in honor of the builders of the Great Temple. War followed. By the time of the American Revolution, the treasure had been hidden again. By then, the Masons included George Washington, Benjamin Franklin, Paul Revere. Now look here, Ben. The Freemasons among our founding fathers left us clues like these. The unfinished pyramid, the all-seeing eye, symbols of the Knights Templar, guardians of the treasure. They're speaking to us through these.
That's a very interesting movie. I don't think I've seen that one before. I think I'm going to grab some snacks after this one and put my feet up.
On the same day during this ceremony, the Masons would pair off with the little boys and me, go to different rooms behind the main altar in the back building, and my uncle, who was also there. He was the one who took me into a room and me. That was pretty normal, yeah.
Well, early on in my research, when people were coming forward with accounts, some accounts appeared about deviant Freemasons. That is to say, some of the people making allegations were indicating that their fathers had been Freemasons, and that somehow their alleged abuse they thought was connected with the lodge or Freemasons. Occasionally, abuse accounts, if they were true, and I can't say that they were definitively, but if they were true, seem to have occurred inside Masonic lodges.
I would remember first the incest stuff, the stuff at home, and then it would gradually go from that to the ritual stuff. I went to a couple of Masonic parties at a lodge that was located right near the research building. There was a Masonic lodge right around the corner from it, and they said there were a couple of parties there. And these people they go crazy at these parties. These men, they just get drunk and they just pass you around, and it's horrible what they do.
Was it sexual abuse that was going on, or other kinds of abuse at these parties?
Yes. They make you perform sexually. They make you watch other people perform. I mean, they would have everything you can imagine. You'd even bring in animals, and you had to watch, it's just as bad as having it done to yourself. Sometimes watching is just as worse. I mean, just as bad.
Watching it being done to other children, or
yeah, especially if it's people younger than yourself. You're a child, and you have to stand there and watch a little kid who's half your age.
What she describes right there is revolting.
Classified as a non-physical reality. Well, you use techniques which push the nervous system a lot faster. Those techniques are available.
Shortly after making that claim, he was gone. In 1979, Itzhak Bentov was on his way to Japan to meet with leading scientists and share that he had cracked the code of reality. But his first flight from Chicago to Los Angeles never made it. The plane crashed. Strange. The man who had spent years mapping the hidden architecture of consciousness died on his way to reveal it. Later, parts of his work surfaced in CIA files, quietly folded into their own projects. Modern physics now flirts with this idea through quantum field theory. But Bentov wasn't a physicist chasing equations. He was describing the cosmos like a giant interconnected hologram, where every fragment contains the whole picture. Think about that for a second. If your mind is tuning into a universal signal, then death might not be the end. It could be just changing the channel.
All right, there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. I need to know exactly what you are thinking after watching that compilation right there. Leave all your thoughts and all your comments down below. Be sure to hit that like button. Do subscribe to the channel if we're newly watching. As I said, we're going to be back every single day with a video on this channel, so make sure, don't go anywhere. Have those notifications switched on, and I look forward to seeing you guys on the next one.